Hi, everyone. Today is day 21 of the Zentangle Advent Calendar. I'm following the one put out by MZ Creates, and the information's in the description. Today, we are looking at the Tangle Mary by Barbara Duel Johnson. And this one it comes out to look like a poinsettia. So we're going to get started right now. I have an apprentice tile and my black pen, #2 pencil, and a tortillon. I also have some colored pencils in green, red, and some gel pens. All right, so today we are going to start by making a circle. And if you don't have an apprentice tile, you can use computer paper or your sketchbook. An apprentice tile is 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. And we're going to be drawing a circle. I am just going to be using something round today to trace around. And I just have tape that I am going to place roughly in the center. And then I'm just going to take a pencil and draw around. Yeah, that works out really, really well. And then I'm going to set the tape aside because I don't need that for anything else. And then I'm going to take my black pen and we're going to start with Mary. Mary is pretty simple. We are going to do 3 of them in roughly kind of a triangle shape because we'll be making a wreath. So I'm going to start at the top with a cluster of orbs. So I am putting in, I have 5 right now, maybe a couple more like that. And then I'm going to put in some, they're like spokes, and they just kind of come out like that. Let's see. I want 5 of them. So I just kind of rotate my tile as I go. And then once we have those in, we're just drawing in petal shapes. Like that. All right. And then we'll do a second layer of the spokes in between the original petals. And then once those are in, we're just putting in another layer of petal shapes. All right, then once we have those petal shapes in, then we just add some veins. Those are just diagonal lines. You can add a slight curve to them if you'd like. And we're going to do that for each petal. I like to start on the first layer and then I'll go to the second layer. And then we'll work on shading once we get our other ones in. So I'm going to put another one roughly over here. So we're putting in 3. So I'm going to do the same thing again with the cluster of orbs. And then I'm going to start with the spokes. And you can make your spokes here a little curvier or a little straighter. And you can experiment with that as well. I don't make them too curvy. I like them a little straighter. And then once I get the first layer finished, we're going to work on the second layer. And we're just repeating that. And once we have both layers in, then again, we put the veins in. And those are just diagonal lines. These flowers aren't very big, a little bigger than a quarter, maybe kind of half dollar sized. All right, we have 2 in, and I'm going to put a third about over here, starting with the clusters. And then we'll put in our first layer of petals. And then putting in our second layer. Then coming back around with the diagonal lines. And we're at our last petal. So we have 3 of the Merry Tangles that look like poinsettias. And now we're going to come in with Flux. So we're making a wreath. So I'm going to start at the top over here, and I will be following the pencil line. And you can either start on the inside or the outside. Flux is a very simple tangle that's a lot like a petal or maybe like a raindrop. And here I'm going to kind of pick up my pen and air draw over that and come back around. And I'm going to skip over the flower and come back over to this side and keep going. And we're still working our way around the outside. All right, I think I want to add just a little bit more there. And then we're going to work on the inside. So I like to kind of keep these like a mirror image. So I try to match up on the inside what's on the outside. It doesn't always quite work out that way, but it comes pretty close. And we just have one more section here. And we're back at the beginning. So now we have a really nice wreath shape here. We can add some detail to the flux, and that's simply making a line and 2 or 3 dots. I think I'll go with 3 today. And again, I'm just working on the outside first. And then I'll work on the inside, repeating that same pattern. A line with 3 dots. I'm going to add a little bit of a leaf here. And I think we're back to the beginning. All right, that's looking really, really cute. I like to add orbs along here within the flux, and then I like to ink in the little spaces that's left. And I randomly add the orbs. If you're not fond of orbs, you absolutely do not have to add them. And if you would like to add them, you can just put them randomly in. So some are going to go on the outside and some are going to go on the inside. And I add some as well by the Merry Tangle. Sometimes it helps to rotate your tile to see where to put the orbs. Let's see. I think I would like to add another one up here. And then maybe one here. And another one here. All right, you can add more if you'd like, or you could have fewer. And then now I think for some decoration, I would like to add two or three Cruffle. So I'm going to draw a line down, and then I'm going to draw a circle. It's a little bigger than the end of my pen. And for Cruffle, I'm just adding an S shape. And then I'm going to aura inside. And I don't need to do that too many times because these are very small. And then I think I'll add another one over here. Making it roughly the same size. Putting in that S shape. And then a little aura inside. And you can add more if you have space. And then I think I'll add one more coming down here. Like that. All right. Looks really cute. I'll add a little bit of a leaf here. And then now we can do some shading. I'm not going to do much with my number 2 pencil because I have colored pencils today. So I am going to start with the Flux, and towards the center, I'm using a darker green, and this one's just called green. I'm using Crayola today. So I'm just adding the green along the details and along that center line there. And I'm just working on the outside first. If you're not using colored pencil today, you can take your number 2 pencil and shade along the areas that we're working on right now. And then I'm going to do the same for the inside, following along the detail there and along the circle, the original circle that we made. Oops, I forgot an area, so I'm going to go back in with my pen and add that detail. I have another one over here that I missed. All right, no worries. It's all taken care of. I'm not pressing too much with the colored pencil, just a little bit of pressure. All right. And then I'm going to take the lighter green, which is called yellow green for Crayola. And then I'm going to come back in and just lightly add that to each of the leaves. And I'm just using a circular motion here. I just want a little bit of color. And then I'm going to do the same on the outside. All right, I think we're done. We're finished with the green. And I'm now going to take a red colored pencil, and with Crayola, it's just called red. And we are going to color in the Merry Tangle. And instead of shading with a number 2 pencil, I'll be just using pressure to change the look of it. So we'll start at the top here. I always try to decide which side is going to be to get more pressure, and that will be darker. So I'm going to choose the left side, And when I lay down this color, I'm adding a little more pressure on that side. And for each petal, it will be the left side that gets more pressure. So I'm just going through and doing those first. And I'm working on the first layer of petals. And now moving on to the second layer, the same thing. I'm keeping the left side as the side that gets more pressure, so it will be darker. Once I have that finished, then I'll add color to the right side of each petal. And I'm simply working my way around. And I'm going to do that as well for this one and for this one. So please take your time. You might be faster than I am, or you might need more time than I do. And that's totally fine as long as you're working at your own pace and enjoying the process. That's awesome. Now our second one is filled in, and we're going to move over to the third one. And the same process. I'm still keeping the left side of the petal. I'm adding more pressure to that so that it's darker. And then I'll go back in and fill in the right side using less pressure. And I think I missed a little bit of green here, so I'm going to go back in and add that. There we go. The centers of these I would like to be yellow. So I have a yellow Crayola colored pencil. And this, for this, I'm pressing very hard so that I can get a brighter yellow color. If you have a yellow gel pen, this would be a great time to use that. All right. That's really cool. Now we have to make a decision. Do you want to leave your orbs white or would you like to make them red? So I'll let you think about that for a little bit. I am going to take a gel pen and add a little bit of color to the Cruffle. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to take the silver and I'm going to add some to this part here. So on the left side, I'm making the loop silver, and on the right side, the inside of the loop is silver. And I'm going to do that for each one. And I'm going to let that dry. And then I'll take the gold gel pen and do the opposite. So the loop on the left side will be filled in with the gold. And then the loop on the right side will get the gold. Today I'm using the Uniball Signo gel pens. I'm very fond of these. They have a lovely color and they're very juicy. There we go. Now I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to add a little shading while we're still thinking about the orbs, whether we want them to be white or red. I'm going to add a little shading on the inside here. I'm not pressing very hard because we just want a light layer of shading. And I'm also going to add a little shading on the outside as well. Again, I'm not pressing very hard, just lightly. All right, I'm going to set the pencil aside and take the tortillon, and I am going to blend. If you're also using an apprentice tile, you'll notice when you blend that it feels a little different from the original regular size Zentangle tile. The paper's a little different. And then we're also going to blend on the outside. Sorry about that. I had a little message on my laptop there. All right, I think we've gone all the way around our project there. And just make sure you've blended everything out and that it's smooth. I think I'm actually going to leave the orbs white, but if you would like to fill them in with red or gold or silver, by all means, please follow your heart and do so. I think we're about finished. Yeah, I'm going to call that finished for me. It looks really, really cute, and I'm happy with that. I am going to take my pen and find a place to put my initials, to put my chop, and you should do that too at this point. Sometimes it helps to rotate your tile to figure out where you want to fit that in. And I think I am going to tuck that in I'm working very tiny here. I'm going to put it in right here. It just fits. I kind of like to hide my initials within the piece, but you might like to put them in the corner here or someplace more visible. That's your personal preference. That's entirely up to you. There's no right or wrong there. And just make sure your gel pen is dry before turning it over. And I always like to fill out the back. I always do put my name on it. And let's see. So this is Advent Tangles 2023, day 21. I still can't believe it's day 21. And today we covered the flower tangle Merry, Merry, by Barbara Duel Johnson. We also had Flux by Zentangle Headquarters, Zentangle Inc. We have Cruffle by Sandy Hunter. And we also had some orbs in there. And I believe that's it. And that is our cute little festive wreath project on an apprentice tile. Really take a good look at it and give yourself a pat on the back. This was not an easy project. It was a larger project, and you did an amazing job. If this demo was helpful to you, please subscribe or click like. It's been fun, and thank you for joining me as we uncover your inner artist. And I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.